What I'm trying to help you understand, Jesus says, is that if you cling, scratch and claw to hang on to your life, you're going to lose it. But if you give up your life for me, meaning make the choice that I've shown you, that I enable you to make, that I'm calling you to make, that I'm showing you to make, that I've already made, and I want you to follow me in the making. If you do that, you will find it, meaning the good that you're looking to accomplish. Those things that you just know are gonna happen. When your way is different than the way of Jesus, you and I need to stop right there in our tracks and ask ourselves some questions. Namely, why am I trusting myself over the truth of God's word? Now, let me show you what I mean up here. I'm gonna throw this slide up here, and this is gonna be pretty obvious. There's my way, and then there's the way of Jesus. Now, let's just run through a simple list. These are common to all of us. My way about my thoughts, and then there's the way of Jesus about my thoughts. If it's gonna be my way and how most of us deal with our thoughts, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let our thoughts run rampant. We're not gonna take any of them captive. We're gonna let all the fear, the anxiety, the envy, and the jealousy, and the lusting after this and after that, we're gonna let those things stay. But we're gonna keep feeding those things because, well, they're just thoughts, right? But the problem is that thoughts are the precursors to the actions of our life. And so if I'm left to my thoughts and my way, if I'm gonna deal with my thoughts my way, I am not gonna find the way of Jesus, because he tells me to take those thoughts, when they oppose his thoughts, captive, cast them aside, take his in and cling to those. Scratch and claw to hang on to those truths. And so we're talking about my way or the way of Jesus. Oh, it is as simple as the thoughts that you are thinking. Let's look at the next one. Our time. Most of our world thinks time is just something that passes. God says, no. The way of Jesus recognizes that time is an absolute gift and a resource. And every moment of my life, I will be accountable for that minute. This isn't something to just burn. Well, it is here, my way, because it sounds really good and that's the way I want it to be. But the way of Jesus is, no, I gave it to you as a resource. Yeah, I created you for a purpose. There's something to do with the time. And literally, there are other people's eternities at stake based on what you do with that time. And that's why the way of Jesus is so important. And the good that you think you're gonna get by just letting time pass, you're not gonna get it. But if you will give that up and you'll cling to me, you're gonna get all the good that you want. All the good that you think you're gonna get, it's gonna happen if you follow my way. Singleness and marriage. Oh, I can either do this my way, or I can do this in the way of Jesus. Singleness and marriage can be done my way, where it's all about me and I do what I want for my pleasure, for my wants, or the way of Jesus, which is all about the other person and serving other people in the marriage, serving other people in my singleness. Staying pure in my singleness, staying pure in my marriage. That goes back to the thoughts. You guys see the difference between my way and Jesus' way? Amen. It's very different. Very simple things. It's a simple list. Raising children. There's a raising children my way. You don't want them. You don't want them as friends. You don't want them to work for you. The way of Jesus. Wow. By the way, you might want to write this down. The number one goal of every one of us as parents is to raise children who love God and love others. That's it. That's the number one goal. If you can do that, everything else follows. Because now they're on the way of Jesus and not on the way of them and their own ideas, their own best thoughts. No. If you love God and love others, Jesus said, you can't go wrong. Everything else is there to support those two things. Love God, love others. That's our greatest goal. But if that's your greatest goal, and this is the way of Jesus raising children, we raise our children very differently than if they're just hanging out in our house until they're 18 and we give them the boot. antagonistic people. There's my way of dealing with them, and then there's the way of Jesus. Anybody think those might be different? Yeah. Offenses and wounds. My way, I'm going to nurse these babies, and they're never going to heal. In fact, I'm going to spend the rest of my life showing them off, and I'm not trying to make light of them. They're real. But see, on the way of Jesus, these offenses and wounds get healed. And they're not just mended, they're healed. They're healthy. And you're moving on and you're not defined by them any longer. Right here, this becomes my identity. The way of Jesus, these are healed, and we're able to hear him talk to us about a whole lot of other things in our life. Life, impact, and purpose. There's my way and what I think that should be, and then there is the way of Jesus. So is this making sense, guys? If we cling to our life, we're going to lose it. But if we will die to self, as Jesus said, if we'll give up ourselves, then we will find all the good that we are looking for.